Children are the most important people on our planet. If you want a hopeless future for them, take away as much hope from them as possible. But if you want a hopeful future, give them as much hope as you can. In particular, give them stories of hope. These are ironic times for us. Today, children have access to hundreds, if not thousands, of libraries. With a few clicks, they can create art, music, and even code with the help of AI. They have information that would make kings, pharaohs, and emperors jealous. But we must not be mistaken. Information is not knowledge, and knowledge is not wisdom. These are extraordinary times for us. But whether they are extraordinarily meaningful or extraordinarily meaningless is up to us. Childhood and adolescence are vital stages of our growth. During this time, the brain is rapidly growing and trying to make sense of the world. Despite all our advancements in technology, however, according to the WHO, today, 10% of children and adolescents worldwide experience some kind of mental health issue, and the large majority do not seek help or care for them. At a time like this, I believe we need to engage our children better, and I return to a timeless approach that we have used for thousands of years. Stories. Stories that inspire a sense of gratitude for who we are and where we are from. Stories to give us hope, to raise the bar every day. And stories to remind us that we can make the difference to the people around us. But we must not wait too long to share these stories with our children. After all, they will not be children for too long, and we may not always be around. The first set of stories are about the past, and some of the most important storytellers are grandparents, senior folks. I was about 11 when I stumbled on a book in my grandfather's house. It was about the medicinal value of plants. I didn't ask too many questions about the book. In fact, I didn't ask my grandfather too many questions either. Who was this man who ran away on a ship from Kerala in India to Singapore in search of a better life? How did he teach himself to read and write, much less to write books? By the time I was ready to ask these questions, it was too late. Grandpa was no longer with us. The same pattern emerged when I thought about my paternal grandfather. Why did he leave China to come to Singapore? How did Grandma manage to find the resilience and the strength to raise a family of 12 children? How did Grandpa, with blisters on his feet, aching arms and legs, wake up every single morning to pull his rickshaw for a meager salary? How did they manage to find the strength to continue? Today, all the information and knowledge in the world cannot answer these questions for me. The wisdom of how to overcome so many of life's challenges has passed with them. But we cannot wait for children to ask us these questions. They are still trying to figure out how to navigate their own worlds. Many of them don't know what they don't know. It's up to us to make the first move. Imagine coming up with a treasure chest of sorts where you put in your old photographs, albums, CDs, letters, envelopes. Perhaps if your children stumbled on them, they might ask who Grandpa was, who Grandpa is, who Grandma is. But perhaps it might be easier to just sit down with them and share with them your life stories. But my story isn't worth telling, you might say. Well, Grandpa and Grandma, you have been on this planet for the past 50, 60, even 70 years. You have taken whatever life has to throw at you and emerged stronger. Sure, some mistakes might have been made along the way, but share them so that the younger generation and our grandchildren can learn from them. Today, social isolation and loneliness have been highlighted as major public health issues. According to the WHO, 1 in 3 senior folks in some countries experience some kind of loneliness. This can affect the quality of life and impact mental and physical health as well. Wouldn't it be great then if we could reach out to our children and grandchildren to form closer bonds with them? It might then be beneficial for everyone. Grandparents hold the key to some of life's most exciting and interesting problems. Their wisdom transcends information and knowledge. But we cannot wait too long to reach out to our children and grandchildren. We need to make the first move. The second set of stories is set in the present, and some of the most important storytellers are parents. But one of the greatest challenges is that we like to tell children stories rather than listen to them. After all, children are a captive audience, and it's much easier to tell rather than to listen. When Sophie was about 6 years old, she was like any other young, active child, running, playing, bouncing around, and perhaps never more active than the hour before she went to bed. I would be tearing my hair out, asking, Sophie, why can't you just sleep? One day, after reading to her a good night story, I turned over and asked, Sophie, why don't you just sleep? And she looked at me with her beautifully innocent eyes and said, because that's when the monsters come out in my dreams. Suddenly, everything made sense. Sometimes, parents forget how it was like to be a child. Mountains and molehills are not the same for children and adults. Perhaps, if we listened more than we spoke, we might be able to go beyond telling stories to making stories with them. After all, some of the best stories are not created for them, they are created with them. And it is in the present that we can make these amazing memories with them. The present is the only time that we have any real control over. During this time, this is when we feel, see, touch, love, and are loved. The Young family have been making these amazing memories since 2011. They thought it would be a fun family project to get together to climb a mountain. Now, climbing a mountain is not easy at all. Very often, we'll have to train hard for it, but when we are at the peak, there is a lovely view that rewards us. The Young family's first experience was so challenging that they decided to do it again and again and again, 13 times. Since 2011, they have climbed one mountain every year as a family. Was it really about climbing mountains though? No, it really was about creating amazing memories together, overcoming challenges together as a family. Now, armed with the memory that they have overcome 13 peaks, their children will go on to surmount many of life's other challenges too. But family projects don't always have to involve mountains. You can just use pen and paper too. During the pandemic, when my 2 children were at home, they missed school very much, and we wondered what everyone else was doing. I thought it would be funny to ask them what they thought the chairs, tables, curtains, waste paper bin, what were they doing? And so the children laughed and they decided to write a short poem to these objects in the class. Here's one to Mr. Paper. Dear Mr. Paper, thank you for being colorful. Thank you for letting me fold you into animals. Thank you for helping me not to forget anything. I hope it doesn't hurt when we cut or tear you. I hope we plant a tree every time we cut one down. I wish you could roar when I fold you into a lion. Love, child. So they wrote these different poems, put it aside, didn't think too much about it, until one day, when they opened the mailbox, lo and behold, there were replies. Here's the reply from Mr. Paper. Dear child, I come from a distant place, high in the wood, where I spend most of my days. These days, I'm often in a file or a case. Most people want me to think I'm just waste. They have not seen me in so many different ways. I can help you share your wildest creations. Just use me. Stretch that imagination. Color me, fold me, and watch me fly. With your creativity high in the sky. But you don't always need to keep making an impression. One day, you'll come to the realization that just being you is enough inspiration. So go ahead and just be you. One day, you will see it's true, that nowhere else is there another you. Love, Mr. Paper. Sometimes, making memories together with children can be a lot more fun and meaningful than telling stories. The process itself may be painful and arduous, but it's the journey that makes it all worthwhile. Children may forget some of the stories you tell them, but the memories that you make and the adventures that you take are unforgettable. Let's not wait too long to share these stories with our children. The third set of stories are perhaps the most important set of stories. These are the stories that children tell themselves. How would your life story look like if you only had 6 words to describe it? The stories that we tell ourselves have got tremendous impact on our beliefs. And as we believe, so we do, and as we do, so we become. In some cultures, seeing yourself and seeing someone else is of vital importance. Sawubona is a powerful, powerful word. It means I see you in Zulu. But before we see someone else, how about seeing ourselves? How do we value ourselves? What are the stories that our children tell themselves? Do they believe that they are enough? Do they have the confidence to raise the bar every day? Do they think that they can make the difference to the people around them? I often share this poem with my students and my children and remind myself to live it and to believe it too. I alone am enough, but deep within, I know. These numbers and grades mean so much more than who I am and what I dream. I want to raise the bar, but deep within I know I may not have anything to show. Everyone else seems more. My hopes lay hidden in their shadows. No more will I make the difference. Fear and darkness my light drowns out. But then, perhaps, I could turn it around. My light drowns out fear and darkness. I make the difference. No more will my hopes lay hidden in their shadows. Everyone else seems more, and I may not have anything to show yet. But deep within, I know I will raise the bar. Who I am and what I dream means so much more than these numbers and grades. Deep within, I know that I am enough. Sometimes it really is all a matter of perspective. So may the stories that we share with our children inspire a sense of gratitude for who they are and where they are from. May we create amazing memories with them in the present. And may they tell themselves stories to remind them that they are enough, that they can raise the bar, and they can make the difference to the people around them. But let's not wait too long to share and make these stories with our children. After all, they are the most important people on our planet.